Okay. So the difference between x-intercepts and y-intercepts and having f of 6 and h of -8 is because these are your x's and then you don't know what the y's are. You have to find them. And when we were finding the zeros, we made the y. We wanted to find a specific point. We wanted to know the point where y was 0, and we wanted to know the point where x was 0. So these are the same thing. I mean, these are like super easy if you just understand what f of x means. And f of x equals y just means complete the ordered pair. So f of x equals y translates to be an ordered pair, where x is x. Here's my x. What's in the parentheses will always be your x, regardless. So for example, right here, 6 is in my parentheses. What are they wanting? All of this means something. They're giving you the x. They want you to find the y. And when you find that, this and its y means the same thing. Okay? So we have an f and we have an f function. So f of x we want to find when x is 6. Okay? So we're just going to plug this back into a graph page. We could plug in our x, but we don't want to do that because it's real easy to make careless mistakes, especially when you're dealing with an x squared. Okay? So trying to keep this, gets a little dark. Okay. So I'm going back to my graph. When it went back to my home page, I'm just going to hit 4. And it'll take me back right where I was, okay? So we can insert another graph page, or we can go back to one that we've already used. So some of you have asked about using one that you've already done. All right, well, let's say that I want to use this page, okay? And I want to get rid of this line. Well, you can go and select that line, okay? See how it says graph? You can just select it. Now it's just blinking. And then you can hit delete and you can start from scratch. Or we can undo that. Undo is Control Z, just like it is on your computer. All right, and then we can hit our tab button so we can get our tab bar. Okay, and so since this was our f of 1 and it's prompting us at f of 3, we can just arrow down or up, go find f of 1. And we can just delete that and start over, okay? So this function is 5x minus 20, hit enter, okay? And we're going to hit Control T. And so if they're giving us our x, we're going to use our x column, go down to where it says 6, and we already know what it is. So that's 10. Okay, so our answer, f of 6, 10 means 6, 10. And this is our answer. That's all they want. It's not 610, that's what it translates to be. But our final answer, like if you had an answer blank right here, you would just say 10. Okay? Next, going to do the same thing, and we have a different function, okay? So we're just going to go straight to the graph page. We're trying to figure out what our y value is. So this time, I'm going to, let's see what I haven't taught you. Get rid of the, if you just want to sit here and say Control Z, it'll continue to undo everything that you've done all the way back, Control Z, and it just erases everything that you've done all the way back, okay? Thought that'd be a fun thing for you to learn. If you want to get it back, you can just hit Control Y. Okay? Inserting another graph. Go up here, just type that in. Okay? You can only use X values in your graph pages, so if they ever give you anything other than X, just change it. You'll be fine. Okay? Well, this gives us a parabola. Our graph looks like this. Okay? It's crossing our X and Y axis here and here. But if you look carefully, we don't know exactly what those are. They're not on an actual number. They're in between 1 and 2. Same over here, okay? But we do know that we have 2. We're going to learn about quadratics when it has x squared. That's coming up later, okay? And you'll know that how many zeros that you have as well. So here, these are my zeros. I want to go and hit Control T. Why? Because I'm looking for where x, I just want to complete my ordered pair. -3, find y. Okay? So right here, I'm at 1. And I just want to go up, up, up. There's x is -3. And my y is -17. Okay? So my answer is -17. What are your zeros? Okay? Go ahead and find those. So I can look here and see if I have a 0 anywhere for my y. But if you remember what I said earlier, the only thing that you're going to have over here are integers, no decimals, no fractions. And I already know that it's going to be a decimal or a fraction because it's in between my integers. So the table's really not going to do me any good right here. So I'm going to hit Control T and get out of that. And now I'm back in my graph. So I'm going to go to Menu, Analyze Graph, 0. Okay? Now here is a neat thing. Right now my cursor's over here on the side, but I know I have 2. Well, I don't want to click here. I want to click in the middle. And then you only have to do the menu once. I'll show you why. So click once, okay, and then drag. All right, so there's 1 0, okay, -6. I don't know if you can see it really well. Okay, -6.65. And then I didn't click again, okay? I'm just going to drag the other way, and it gives me my other one. See how cool that is? Okay? So you get 1.65. Okay? All right, so I'm going to can give you H. Let's do that one. Control, add a page, graph. Now this one has an absolute value bar. So absolute value bars are right here in your LOL button. Okay? So right there. Okay? Sorry. Our lights have cut off. Okay, so once I get my LOL button, my absolute value bars, I'm just going to type in my function, 2x plus 7, enter, and it gives us a V graph. Absolute value functions will be V graphs. So then I hit Control T, and we are looking for -8, x. So when x is -8, I want to know what y is. So watching my -x, -8, and it is 9. So my answer's 9. Okay, so I say all that because you should be able to do any type of arithmetic problem that has this, okay? So this simply means find out what this value is, plus find out what this value is, and then just add them together, and you'll have your answer. So we're going to have to go to two graphs, get their information, put them here, add those numbers together. All right? So Control Doc, insert a graph. F means go back up here and use this function, 5x minus 20. Do the table, Control T, and find where x is -1, and it's -25. Now, since we've been doing all of these, and it's 4 problems dealing with the same functions, if you know that you've already done this one on another page, go find it. Just go to that page. Or you could do it all over again, okay? Let's see if we still have our G. Well, that's our absolute value. There's our G function, okay? So I don't have to type it again. I can just hit Control T. And so we want where x was 2, our y is 3. Okay? So now, what is -25 plus 3? When your signs are different, you subtract the absolute values of those. So 25 minus 3 would give you 22. But you have more negatives than positives. So your answer is -22. Let's check it. So we're going to go to our calculator page, or insert a calculator page. I think I erased mine a while ago. All right, so double check it. So use your negative button, -25 plus 3. Yep, -22. Okay? It's never crazy to double check yourself.